Texas Mickey Jack here. Loving life with the most gorgeous animal alive, Doctor of Chunks. Look at him, just beautiful. What do we do? Well, we're just dealing with it. That's the way life is. Man. Supposed to be at work. Oh, is that a baby woodpecker? It is too. Let's check this out. Oh, he went around the tree. He was on this tree here. Oh, there he is. He's on the front. Look. He's right here. Let's see if we can get close enough. So cool. It's just eating the ants. The little guy. Let's get a closer zoom. Did you find all the good stuff, buddy? He's like, leave me alone. I'm eating. Just climbing his way up. It's kind of cool. Don't mind me, buddy. Oh, don't fly away. Well, like life, everything just keeps going. Whether you have an issue or not, it just keeps going. It's all in how you deal with the situation, right? I'm walking the most gorgeous animal alive. He's up ahead, way up ahead. This thing is like almost cinching around my neck. This is his leash, but I use it to carry the water bottle. Oh, by the way, this is one of the shirts that I'm working on possibly printing. I haven't set up my store or any of that stuff, but this is the very first concept shirt. And it says, your dreams are closer than you think. And it's a picture of a mirror of my old vehicle, which I thought was kind of funny. This is literally me in the van taking a picture in the mirror of the sunset. And while I was doing it, I looked at the bottom of the mirror, and it says, objects may be closer than you think. And right away my mind was like, you know what? A lot of our dreams that we're seeking to move forward with are a lot closer than we think. And a lot of us give up before they can even get off the ground. Hi everyone, hi. Are you smoking? Well, I was, and then it went out because I was checking out the baby woodpecker eating the ants and stuff off the tree. So I'm smoking because I tried to get to work today and my truck wouldn't start. Oh my God, like I needed this. Yesterday I went all the way there, but my back and my stomach and everything's been hurting for the last few days. And I just couldn't bring myself to do anything because every time I got up or moved, I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. So I stayed within the vicinity of a place where I could just run to the bathroom. That was the whole point of that. It's like, oh, let's drive 40 minutes to where I gotta work and then not do anything, just roll in the grass, which is why you probably may have saw some of the videos I posted yesterday of me just in the grass with the dog, living life, loving life, the only way we'd ever have it. So yeah, my ignition is gone on my truck, the power is dead, I can't start the thing, and I guess it's one of those days, let's work on the truck day. Even though I got a million things that I got to undergo and get off the plate so we can move on to other adventures. Are you a fan of Pootie Tang starring Chris Rock? Pootie Tang! That was so long ago I can't even remember, but it does sound funny. Pootie Tang. Sounds like the life. What life are you living? I'm living the life of Pootie Tang. Let's get that started again. So at least now I can mitigate some of the pain in my ankle in life. So we're just taking the dog for a walk because he shouldn't suffer. Nice life. What's a nice life? We're all dealing with it. I'm not trying to cry about mine. I'm just informing the interweb, of what's going on. It's a Sunday and I don't usually get these days off. But it looks like what we're going to do today is tackle the entire truck. And I'm going to post a live about that later. We're going to do the valve covers. We're going to do the glow plugs. We're going to do the other wheel bearing. We're going to do the ignition. I think I found a way to get it started. But I can't do that until I get back. And Chunks was just like, are we ever going to go for a walk? And I was like, all right. After the shower and everything else. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Like it, Jesus loves you. Sure. I love all of you. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes and shares and everything that you do for this channel. I want to thank everybody. So we're out for a little stroll with the dog. He's way up ahead. Check this out. Look at him. He heard the whistle. I hear the call. And God said, who will I send? You can send Dr. Chunks, the most gorgeous animal alive. There he is. How's my beautiful thing? Look at you. Thank you, gorgeous guy. I love this guy so much. In a way, this dog's been the backbone of my life. And it really gives a sense of appreciation as to the importance of the things that surround you. What I mean by that, the people in your life will either bring you up or bring you down. Things you put in your body, your temple, bring you up or bring you down. The things you think, the thoughts you're intaking from the everyday environment will either bring you up or bring you down. I made a video the other night because life has gotten extremely interesting lately. And I just couldn't take it anymore. So I had a few things to say to some people. And told them like how it is. This is the truth. And a lot of times people will live a lie and expect you to believe their lie. I'm just putting this away. I don't need a lot to just kind of take the edge off. Right? That's what it's for. That's what I use it for. Anyways, a lot of people will expect you to live the same lie in the same drowning pool of delusions that they're in. And this goes a lot with, like, for instance, when you tell somebody what you're going to do, and very rarely will you have somebody be like, yeah, let's do this together. Right? I like to do it together with other people, but the crazy thing is, it just hasn't come about. Everyone has their own path to walk. And sometimes you gotta walk, or actually almost all the time you gotta walk it alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people are afraid of it. right? Some people look at seeing someone who has issues in their life and you want to help them. But this is a lot like a man drowning in the sea or a woman drowning in the sea. And you're like, oh, they're drowning. I gotta jump in and save them. But if you yourself don't know how to swim, it's a recipe for disaster. Throw them a lifeline. Maybe if they use it, then you'll know they're worth saving. Some people will get that lifeline, but I don't know what to do with it. Oh my God. Anyways, remember, we live in this reality. It's called the three-dimensional world, the physical world, right? And the way the physical world works is that everything you do here becomes physical, right? Your thoughts, ability to become physical, as long as you act upon it, right? What you put in your body helps your physical or destroys it, right? And this has been something that I've pondered for a while. Just like the way the world has attacked the human being, I feel. This is my opinion. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. No smoking, sir. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm in India. How are you? Well, I'm having a conversation with y'all. And the conversation is just to bring a sense of inspiration. Not to like blah, 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 but to really just like lay it down how it is. The path to authenticity will only bring you to the wall of truth. And a lot of people who are living their lives today only act in a non-authentic manner. Because that's the way they were taught. They were taught not to believe in themselves. They were taught to believe in something higher than them. Right? And if the whole point of actually being born and not birthed into this world, because you're only ever born, is that you get the chance to experience. That's why it's like supposed to be special to be here. And I feel like the world has kind of distracted that aspect out of our lives. And what I mean by distracted that aspect out of our lives, I mean exactly that. Right? Don't look over here. Look over there. Don't look over there. Look over here. Never focus on what really matters. Is the quality of human being you become and what you're being is something that you should control, and not someone else should suggest for you to live your life a certain way. Now, I'm not suggesting that if you go out and you commit violence against somebody else because you felt free to do so. Maybe if you're defending yourself, it's a whole different aspect. But to be the most authentic version of who you are and not the one who is influenced by the outside media that we every day are exposed to. We're being told visions of a future that drowns out the past. We can live life filled with lessons as long as the life will last. Right? Like, we have so much power and ability while we are here. That's why I feel like they're always telling you, oh, just, in the spirit world, you'll get everything you want. And it's called heaven. But what if heaven is actually here? And we've been distracted mentally through delusion to believe that heaven is actually somewhere else. Like, that would make sense more to you, wouldn't it? Like, why are they always like, well, what's that over there? Right? What's that over there? Oh, no, truth in front of you. Don't look at that. Right? What if that's what we're really... That's the real goal of the game. Is to become the best version you are while you are here. You don't need anything outside of you to perform as an authentic human being. You see, life is filled with challenges, but those challenges are there to pull that stuff out of you, right? Like, you may end up with coming across someone in your life that may not be the best influence, but there's always something that can be learned from that. And I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention. And the reason that word is so powerful, pay attention, because it costs you something. If you have to pay for it with time, money, effort, love, emotions, feelings, like all that stuff, that's the cost. It's just something that we don't always take as being tangible because you can't see it. And that's where money comes in. Because money was created as, in my opinion, the ultimate distraction to stop you from becoming this being that can be looked at as, oh my God, you've inspired me. And what greater way to move through life than to touch someone else without actually really doing anything other than being you. And so my question to everybody is now, do you think that all these wars we're fighting and all of this division that's being created and all this chaos, because they constantly preach to us and say, just put me in power, I will make it happen, right? I will end all your suffering and woes. You know, and the same thing goes for the religious matters, right? Like, trust in God and things will change in your life. But see, what if all these religious texts were actually really talking about the quantum realm and how vibration actually changes everything? Because if you look, all these plants live off the vibration of the sun, right? And the vibration of the planet. And the vibration of whoever takes care of them. Like, if you give them a little more attention, they're going to grow a little bit better, giving you a better yield. So, what a great gift it would be to be able, and we are all able, to inspire the next person to do something better in their life, to become a greater version of themselves. I believe that we are being programmed into not becoming the greatest version of ourselves. That's why there are all these silly laws. And you notice how all the laws that they create usually go against the natural way of being, right? Like, natural medicine, 2,000 years old, is just horrible, not good enough for today's society. We should use pharmaceuticals, which is only like maybe 100 years at most. I'm giving it a huge upgrade by saying 100 years. Like, we have the ability to make change, heal our bodies, do all those things, but we're always being told no. And really, it's the foods we eat, it's the things we consume physically, mentally, spiritually. Those are all the things that actually are contributing into the downfall of mankind, in my opinion, right? Because we're all influenced in the same direction. Don't go inward. Everything you'll find is outward. Everything. And trust the outward. Even though it doesn't make any sense to trust the outward. The outward existence of life. You know what I mean? Like how we're being controlled through just suggestion. There's no physical attack. It's through suggestion. Then they send their enforcers after you. Their policy enforcers. Right? If you did something wrong, went against the rules. But at the same time, we're the ones who created those rules. Because we thought it was convenient. Like, originally they come with you. They come towards you saying, oh, we're going to spread all this peace and joy. And everyone's going to live great. And la 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 la. All you got to do is believe in the process. And the process has only gotten worse. And I feel that people have just been put into this brainwashed thinking. And I'll give you an example, brainwashed thinking. Because, I kind of did this thing, and I'm not saying I'm 100% on it, but I've done it. And it was way back, probably like 20 years ago. I stopped watching TV and listening to the radio. Might have even been 15, somewhere in and around there. Who cares about the semantics of that? I stopped listening to the radio and I stopped watching TV. And I noticed in the first couple weeks or months of me doing this, I was feeling really restless, like I always had to turn the radio on, you know, like, as soon as you get in the car, distraction, need radio, don't want to talk to myself, don't want to think, done. Throw it all on, listen to all this music, whatever they choose to serve you to eat for that day. And when I say eat, because everything that goes in you, you're consuming, and eating is a form of consumption. So, make a long story short, but I can't because I got to be detailed so that people get what I'm coming at. Maybe I'll bore some people and you guys will leave, whatever. I'll just keep saying it. Anyways, once you've consumed all this bullshit propaganda, it becomes a part of you. You start to believe in these things, like watching TV shows. I was watching a movie the other day, and this is why I'm actually explaining this. So I was at a friend's house and they were watching, I think it was Gone in 60 Seconds. And I don't know if there's other people out there that are similar, but like, don't you find when you watch these older movies, you're just like, I can't believe I actually liked that back then. But now, maybe your mind's changed like mine. That's just my experience. Like, I can't even believe half the shit I watched back then was like, we were drawn to watch it. Like, the way we were brought up was watching these shows of rebellion and you know, like we had the grunge music, we had like all kinds of, like, we had metal, we had all kinds of music, but there's always going to be one that kind of reigns supreme for a little while. Could be pop, could be rap, could be country, and you see it as a trend. Like, it goes through society as a trend, and everyone's like listening to it, right? But everyone's also being programmed. Because, like, I've listened to an old, like, I know that most people probably won't even know this, a cassette tape. And it was a recording of the radio back in the 80s. And it was one of my mom's. And it was crazy that I listened to this cassette tape, and it was like it transformed me back to that time when I was like 8 or 7 years old. I remembered the apartment we lived in. And it was like, just like a flashback, like boom, you're there, boom. You're in that reality and you're experiencing it to the point where you almost feel like you're that kid again. That's the way I was in this moment. And then it dawned on me that if I can be like that off of a cassette tape, what would be the difference between like the media and music that we're consuming today, right? Like, if a cassette tape has the ability to transport you to different eras of your life, then imagine how much we can achieve with our mind. For instance, like, when the mind doesn't know the difference between something that really happened and something that you believe will happen, right? Because the belief is the happening, because that's what's giving it the creation. And one of the keys to manifestation is it must be clear and present to the mind and eye, right? So, like, it has to be in the physical and the spiritual in order for it to transcend itself into the now, into the moment, right? Like, life is meant to be great, and like, we're going around killing generations of knowledge through these wars and through the belief that I'm better than you and my God's better than yours, or I have more money, I'm better than you. Like, that's what really funds these wars, is this like crazy mentality of destruction is the only way to get to enlightenment. And sometimes, yeah, you're going to have to tear yourself down in a way that it feels like destruction. Like, you have to revisit chaos in order to kind of graduate to the future. But don't lose yourself along the way and don't get stuck, because this this mentality that we're living right now always wants us to choose between red and blue. Have you ever thought about that? Red and blue? It's kind of like the battle of man and the creators of man, right? But red and blue are the same wings of the same bird. So if you control the bird, you control those who are voting for what they feel is change. Now, look at sports. In the red corner, in the blue corner, almost all of it, we're fighting in watching sports because we're trying to showcase these abilities that have taken years and years to harness. But we're only harnessing the physical. Mind you, mental needs to be in place in order to make that change. But we're not fully focused on equally developing the two sides of the brain, red or blue, right? The other thing is it's all about the blue bloods and the red bloods. Like, look at the wars way back when. It was the blue coats, red coats. Why is this always a trend? Because it's part of the narrative of life in which we live, right? This trend exists because we allow it. And it also exists because somebody controls the bird and says, yeah, don't look over there, don't look over here. Just make a choice on either or. But see, that's also whether you're living a good life or a bad life. But then, are you living an authentic life? See, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, everything goes in threes. Everything connects in threes. If you look at the molecules, like an atom, there's a positive and a negative. And then there is what houses it, the nucleus, right? The outer shell holds it all together. And so the power of three is very, very prevalent in this realm of physicality that we live in. And I feel like that's why they only give you the choice between red or blue, or basically suggest the choice that you give yourself, because the moment you vote for any of those, you're basically giving up any power that you've ever had in this physical realm and asking someone else to govern it for you. And sure, you give somebody the keys to the bank, some money's going to go missing. Not everybody's going to do that, but a majority of people will, because their belief in freedom actually only comes from the belief that money will give them the freedom. That physical form of money is how you will be free. And really, freedom starts in the mind. Right? You choose to get up and go to work and live the same life like I have. And I feel like the challenges that I've been pushed through in this life have really gotten me to open my eyes and go, yeah, no, this is not the direction. The direction where I'm going to be going is this way. And everyone's going to say, no, that's not the right way. No, you got to do it like we're doing it. I'm not you. I had somebody else comment the other day saying that, they got arthritis and this and that, and I should just suck it up, princess, and do what I need to do. Man, I already work like 24/7. I'm not going to work more. And then I got to thinking through that mentality of how we're brought down. Like they say, like, gotta bring you back down to earth here, right? No, I don't want you up in the clouds there. Bring you back down to earth. Is that the more we allow people to influence a reaction out of us, let's just say. Like, for instance, if someone makes you angry, they control you. If someone makes you happy, they control you. But the moment you're authentic and you just sit back and you can see what everyone's doing, for what reasons, you can kind of start reading what's going on. And you see, this is kind of where that media blackout comes in. When you're distracted because of media, you don't see any of what I'm just talking about. You just kind of like float through life and only float into the direction that you were told to go. And that's literally how I see life now. I just cannot not see it. And going back to that movie, after watching that Fast and the Furious, I've seen Angelina Jolie, I'm like, man, she looks horrible to me now than she did back then. But that means that you may have been programmed into believing that was a form of beauty. And it is. Whatever she portrays is her inner beauty being that. But the character she's playing is influenced by someone else. And if you're living your life, maybe you're just acting as a character and being influenced by someone else. So where do we go from here? You're probably wondering, right? Well, this is why I talk about authenticity. And I get a lot of flack for doing the things that I do, acting the way that I do. Like, for instance, sometimes I won't go to work right away. I'll walk my dog. People will be like, you can't do that. Well, I am. I'm doing it because my dog is more valuable to me. And people will say that that's unresponsible. But if you just worked like 3 weeks straight, never had a day off, at some point, you got to be like, fuck it. If I don't ever take time, I will never have time. Right? And that's the one commodity that's the most valuable thing, even though it doesn't really exist. Time is an illusion. I believe that if you're counting down your birthdays, for instance, as most people will call it, birthday, I call it the day you were born, right? Because that's what it always was. And somehow we ended up on this whole birthday manifestation. And what if the powers that be knew that if they could plant words in our mouths that we could recite, that we would have some kind of capability of creating that, if there was enough people, right? You can do it on your own, but it takes complete focus. Now, if you get a bunch of people together to get them to act the same way, think the same things, say the same things, then you can bring that life into manifestation, into this reality. And I feel like people don't realize that that's how powerful we are. There's a reason why they call it spelling, because you're casting spells out into the ether, out into the living world, right? Like this tree somehow seeded itself, or maybe it was planted, I don't know. All I know is it continues to grow without thought of having to grow. It's a cycle. It's like, that's why if you cut down a tree and you look at the rings, you can actually tell how old the tree is, because of all the different forms of adversary it has had to come, or not even adversary, but like different forms of struggle that it had to grow through to end up becoming so big, right? Our lives aren't much different. The crust on the tree is literally showing the season it's been through. And then as the tree grows and expands, that crust gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm from Calgary, by the way. That's somebody's asking. Man, want to be there. But you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be happy. And that's literally what I'm talking about. Is that you got to become. Now, I heard this saying come from that master Shi Hung or whatever it is, the guy you've seen on YouTube a few times, bald guy, practices Buddhism or whatever it is, I can't remember. And everything you get in life, you actually attract it. And even if you're attracting somebody who's going to do bad to you, if your instincts are being distracted by the outside world, then you're going to be less susceptible to catch what someone else is doing, right? But if you're more in tune, in the moment, see things for what they are, call them out for what they are, right? Like, I feel like the narrative in our world is literally trying to change all that. They're trying to say, oh, no, actually, right now, during the day, it's nighttime. And you have to say that it's nighttime. Oh, but it's not nighttime. No. You have to say it's nighttime or you're going to get a fine, spanked, and thrown in jail. And do not collect $200 when you pass go. This life is a lot like Monopoly. There are rules to the game. And we're just playing by someone else's rules. Even though we all have the ability to change the game, we just have to believe that we can do it. And then we'll manifest all the things that we truly desire. You see, like when you go around the world and you meet culture and talk to other people, different ethnicities, and it's a tongue twister to me. And you start to kind of be more human, you know? Not just like, we must go to war because they did wrong, they're the evildoers, and then they start pointing their finger at who's the evildoer. And then the ones who are pointing the finger are also just as bad. Because they may be invading someone else's land. We're here to free you. It's like it's just like the mentality of when somebody sees a wild animal, let's just say, and they're like, we got to save you from your natural freedom. And how do we do that? Well, if we just put them in a zoo, lock them up in a cage, and feed them whatever the hell we want, they will have the best life. They will never die. They will live a long life, you know? They will live a long life. And that's the illusion, that we're helping somebody get out of that free thinking because we feel that our way's better. Man, what if that lion that's in a cage, or that tiger that's in a cage, or that elephant that's in a cage was just like, you know what? I would rather just be in back home where my peoples are. And if I die tomorrow, it's better than if I didn't live for today. That dog is out again. Come. Here I am, I have to worry about getting attacked by a dog. So, not too long ago, this same Rottweiler was attacked Chunks. And this is the same distance, look. You see this football field? It's basically like a football field and a half. And that thing ran across the entire parking lot to come after Chunks. I had to kick this thing in the face. Look at it. It's all the way over there. That black spot right there. Should get your dog! With me. This guy can't control his dog. And I don't want my dog to get hurt. Last time the dog bit my dog in the ear. So we have to go the opposite direction when somebody can't control their dog. So I really hope I'm not on live with this one. I got these Chunks again. I could see him smelling. With me. So we're going opposite direction. Because this Rottweiler ran us down last time. And I don't want another dog fight. So, thank God it's not full moon. That's when I notice all these fights happen usually with my dog. My dog's leashed. See that? And we're going a whole nother direction just to avoid being in contact with that dog. But this time, if I have to, same thing will happen. I should bring my baton next time. And I talked to this guy not too long ago, made a video about his crazy ass dog. And he came up to me and said to me, if you can't control your dog, my dog's on a leash and your dog's attacking us. If I can't control my dog, what? In an off-leash park? That's why I yelled out, you should get your dog, but he's too busy talking with his girl or whatever. And if I have to smash this dog in the head, I will do it. It's not fair to my dog. It's literally where it happened, right between, look, that car. See that white car there? So last time it happened, my truck was parked where this black truck is. This is good that we have these reference points, right? And in between the truck and the car, by the time we got there, because we changed direction so that we could stop this crazy dog from running all the way from where we just were over to here. Let's try and make it back to the truck with my dog. Here, go. I'm gonna let him go so he's farther away from me. But man, I kicked that dog in the head. When that Rottweiler came after us, I kicked that dog in the head like 9-10 times. It's just like doing. And I don't like doing shit like that. But when a dog's actively trying to attack my dog and it's 130 or 40 pounds, because I talked to the guy not long ago when I saw him parked, and he just happens to always show up when I'm here, which is a lot like life. The unexpectedly happens in the moment it's unexpected. I went to smack it in the head with this bottle, and the handle broke before I could hit him. Now, if you know Chunks, look at this. Look at the size of Chunks, right? That dog's easily like 8 inches taller than Chunks, and his head is twice the size of Chunks. Now, I'm not an advocate for hurting animals at all, right? But you should be able to have control of your animal. And if you can't control it, you shouldn't have a dog. Like, my dog has balls. He's not fixed. He was never broken, so why fix it, right? And the crazy thing is, people are like, oh, let's just neuter the dog because they're less aggressive. Bullshit. Those dogs all attack Chunks. Now, I'm sure there's some dog people out there going, well, statistically, you know, that if you leave males intact, and blah, 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 they're going to be dominant. And yeah, I get all that. But that doesn't change if you get rid of that animal's reproductive organs and they're still attacking another dog, just worse. Maybe they're jealous, or like, how dareth this oneth roameth the parketh with its natural danglies between its legs. Like, it doesn't change. The dogs are still crazy. They're just worse because they're probably mad. Like, it was that one who took mine. Look at this guy. Look at this beautiful thing. So we avoided sorry, every time you flip back and forth from the cameras, it does stupid shit. I don't know why. It should just allow us to flip back and forth without shutting off. Well, we've talked a lot about a lot of stuff during this walk, and it just so happened the scenario got changed as soon as that dog showed up. I have to react accordingly and start walking home, because I was going to anyways. They were just in the way of my walking home. So Chunks is doing fine. Look at him, he's just strutting like a beast. Dun, 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 dun. Most gorgeous animal alive. Dun, 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 dun. Get some water for this guy. I can't give you any of this because it's salt water. You want to go? Go. Go play. So, in the course of Chunks' life, this dog's been attacked by other dogs like 40 times, easily. He's got numerous scars on his body. And almost all the time, I've had to intervene. And some of the situations, I just couldn't imagine. If a female had a giant dog that's like 120 pounds, okay, let's just say, basically half their weight, or if not like 3/4 of their weight. Trying to control a dog like Chunks, I'm 300 pounds or 200 pounds, and he's like 90. I have a hard time controlling him. So look, there's some dogs coming up that I don't know if Chunks will react well. So I will call Chunks back, put him on the leash. They can be introduced with me. Let me see. Look. And then we go introduce them. Maybe they won't like each other, maybe they will. But one of the reasons why I do it this way is just so that they get to meet each other. Chunks doesn't run up and bulldoze, right? That's why I do it. Hi. And they're cool. See, as soon as they pass, it's just for dog walking etiquette, right? I put him on the leash, take him off. He's not going to go after the other dogs. The dogs aren't going to go after him unless they're really fixated. You can tell once they're on a leash. But some people will look at Chunks and go, "Oh, he's putting him on a leash because your dog's dangerous." Well, a gun is only dangerous when it's loaded, right? So a dog can only be dangerous when it chooses to be. So that's where human beings come in, and we're like, wait a minute, I must intervene in the saving of this animal, locking it up 24/7 to have a good life. Now you're probably going, oh, maybe I'm a hypocrite for saying that because I do that to my dog, and I don't. My dog comes with me everywhere I go, and I get it. Not everybody has the ability to do that. But going back to the manifestation thing, we all have the ability. It's just the actions we take to make them happen. What are we doing? Are we taking active action to make change in our life? And that's literally the whole meat and potatoes of life, is the actions we take based on the results of the things that happen to us. Look at this guy. Do you need a belly rubs? Oh my God. Oh my God, look at him. Right? Look at this guy. Look at it. He's just like, oh, this is the best life. My dad loves me. Oh, please continue. The belly needs more rubbing. See, his paw goes up. Then he falls back. He's like, this is so good. Oh. See, he has an ear infection. That Rottweiler literally bit him right there. See that hole? That was a hole. It healed. That was right in the area where he has an ear infection. I have to clean his ears. But the world we live in capitalizes on the sick and poor. That's what capitalism is. To take advantage of. And every vet that I've gone to, I said, the medication the dog got last time helped. We just needed to follow up, and I couldn't get in there because I was working so much. I said, I need to help my dog. Help me get it the medication it needs. Sir, you need an appointment, and it has to be a technician or a vet that administrates the drug. You can't just do it. It's literally like a tube of cream that you stick down the ear canal and you just squeeze it. And for 30 days, it kills that bacteria in the ear. And then the dog should be fine. Nope. None of them would see my dog in the now moment. They would only see it if I made an appointment so that they could take that $70 drug and charge me $287 every single visit that I go with that I go to when I go to the vet, because they take the sample, then they pet your dog, and usually all of this takes like 15 minutes to make $287, right? And I get it. Everyone deserves to get paid for what they do. But we live in a world where we only help the weak, the broke, the poor, unless they can pay for it. That's the crazy part. Most people will say they got into veterinarian medicine because they love animals. And I'm not saying that that's not true. But when you take an animal to the vet and it costs you like $2,000, usually you're going to be anywhere above $500 to $600 nowadays, depending on the issue. I'm talking extreme situations, right? Nice dog. Thanks, Glenn. So, getting back to the ear infection on the dog, I've been like trying to find a way to treat it. No vet will give me the medication unless I make an appointment. I can't wait. I need it now. They don't care. So I've come up with a couple natural recipes that I'm going to actually try to administer. And one would be cleaning the ear, right? Like I've done it a few times, but I was kind of leaving it this time because my mentality was I got to go see the vet. But I'm like, I really don't have the $300 to spare for this. Because that's what it's going to take. And then you lose a day of work or half day of work. Time to go there. Time to watch them rob you. Pull your pockets out of your pants and be like, shake the gold coins that you turn you upside down kind of stuff because you love your animal. That's kind of where it's gone. And they'll all be, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. Well, of course there's something you can do. You can let me buy the medication and give it to my dog, which I'm offering to do, but you won't take my money unless you could take more money. And that's a sad thing, right? Because to me, I haven't come across a vet that basically isn't in it for the money. Yeah, you make good money, but you're robbing people. I know it took lots of school to get there. But at the same time, it's like somebody doesn't want to pay me to go build their basement. You should work for $20 an hour. I could get somebody to do it for $20 an hour. Well, get that person to go do it, and then you could call me to come fix it. And then it'll be triple the money if you would have just paid me the money that I asked up front. But that's the way the system is created, to get us fighting amongst each other through this bullshit. And the whole reason why I even talked about Chunks is here was just because when I learn what I need to do to fix this dog, this guy, I'm gonna let you guys know. So you guys, if you're in need, you can do it, right? Like if I'm working on something, I post it on live, show you how to do it and do it properly. Because in my opinion, I'm so sick of working on garbage stuff that people have built and having to fix it to make it look good. You know, some people would rather polish a turd and sell it for thousands of dollars than do the right job, which takes the same amount of time. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. Texas Mickey Jack doesn't shut up. He's just going off. Ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to be fixing the truck today. I had to take the dog for a walk, had to get out, spend an hour, spend 50 minutes. And I don't see no Rottweiler chasing us, so that's good. Oh. I made a video that night after being attacked, and I didn't post it yet because I feel like I need to edit some stuff out. But have some interesting stories, man. If I had a camera rolling almost all the time, I would keep lots of people entertained. just the shit that happens. Like not being able to go to work today. That's, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, oh, that's typical. Like, that happened to me last week. Well, I'm glad you made it through. Here I am now dealing with it. On top of all the other things. And when I mean other things, there is a lot of other things going on that I'm not mentioning in respects to other people. And who knows? Let's see. Just what's unfolding. Keep going. It's all you can do. Live your life 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. Make sure you make those minutes and hours count. Because one day, you're going to end up in a place in your life where you're like, how did I get here? It went by so fast. Because you allowed yourself to be distracted for so long. Right? I'm living that. I've been distracted for quite a while. I'm not really distracted, but like I spent the last 15 years, maybe even 18 years, going through all the obstacles, adding more along the way, and still dealing with it, still going through, because all you can do is just keep going, right? That's why I like diesel trucks, because they keep going. You can put them through all kinds of situations, and they're built tough, right? Heavy duty. That's the whole point of diesel. It has to be built heavy duty in order for it to work. So you have to build your life up to be heavy duty. The moment you learn how to be great, then you can be great by doing everything fast. Like if you build something, for instance, it takes a few trials, time, and a few moments of going through it to kind of come over the horizon in a sense, and really find your place. Like the moment you can build something good, then you can build it fast. It's not the other way around. Build fast and make it good later. No. You gotta go through all the steps and become a serious practitioner that's unstoppable like a diesel truck. Come. Good boy. So, I just thought I'd share that with you guys today on our walk, because we haven't had much time to do this kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye. Let me see.